Viewing diversity and inclusion as a leadership function is vital for professional and personal development and leads to business success and community prosperity. The Greenville Chamber is committed to the charge of diversity and inclusion becoming the standard to strengthen and impact our communities. The 2017 Diversity and Inclusion Summit was an outstanding, full-day event filled with inspiration, encouragement, challenges, and connections, all presented in an immersive learning environment. The inaugural summit was a success with over 450 attendees, 11 presenters, 20-plus sponsors, 6.5 continuing education credit hours awarded by HRCI and SHRM. 98% of surveyed respondents indicated the summit exceeded or met expectations. 90% indicated that they are very likely to recommend the summit to others. 96% rated the pre-summit communications good or excellent. 98% of survey respondents rated the staff volunteer support services good or excellent. 98% rated the overall workshop satisfaction as good or excellent. 95% of survey respondents rated the breakfast keynote as good or excellent. 92% of survey respondents rated the luncheon keynote as good or excellent. Here is what a few of the summit attendees had to say. Being diverse and intentional requires action. Survey respondents communicated the following takeaways they plan to act upon. Gained additional diversity and inclusion resources I will share with staff members. Intentional planning and actions around involving white men as partners in diversity and inclusion. Make diversity and inclusion an ongoing conversation. Notice my privilege and use it honorably. Enhance active listening skills. Everyone is at a different point in their cultural competency journey, so we should work to meet them where they're at. Growth in understanding the emotional component for LGBTQ staff in the workplace as they deal with several issues regarding identity and acceptance. Recognition that equity is very different from equality. More awareness around subtle discrimination. Authenticity is more important than being correct. Lean into discomfort. Joining us as our breakfast keynote speaker this year was Dr. Atira Charles, CEO of Think Actuality, LLC. Here is just a taste of what she shared.
Authenticity is really the process of being aware of the different masks that you have and having a peace about which ones you wear at what times. Because where people have that internal conflict is when they're presenting certain selves, certain identities, certain masks to the world, and they don't have a peace about it. But I want you all to be very clear that there is no way you can empower the people you lead without you feeling like you're bringing all of you to the table in a way that gives you peace as well. When we think certain thoughts, it impacts our behaviors. This isn't debatable, it just is. And so if we can own that reality for ourselves and then own that reality for the people we lead, there's a different level of sensitivity and empathy we're able to have. Because when we've taken our own self-awareness journey, when we're figuring out how to be aware of our own identities, when we're figuring out how to manage our own identities, then we can facilitate the people we lead doing the same thing.
Bill Proudman, CEO, founder of White Men as Full Diversity Partners, delivered the Luncheon Keynote and challenged all of us to become full diversity partners.
And so I've learned to ask, not all the time, but a lot of times, where on the continuum are you speaking to me from? And it's not necessarily sometimes this direct. Are you talking to me as the current representative of a group of white men that you've had experience with? Are you talking to me as Bill, or are you talking to me somewhere in between? Because I want to know from where to listen to you from. And to be able to let you know that if you're talking to me as the current representative of a group and you've had less than positive experience with, I want you to know that I can stand in the fire, and it's my job not to get burned. Right? Not about you need to dial it back because I'm feeling uncomfortable, or why are you sort of attacking me again, or why are you projecting onto this, I'm a good guy, or all of that's not said, but it's sort of thought. So how do we hang in there with each other for the resilience and the perseverance that our partnerships demand, particularly in this time and day, not just in a business context, but on a globe that's in desperate need of partnership and connection.
The 2017 Diversity and Inclusion Summit was widely promoted across several media outlets. The second annual Diversity and Inclusion Summit will be held October 16th, 2018, and the theme will be Elevating Excellence in Diversity and Inclusion, Delivering Impact. Our 2018 confirmed presenters are Rosanna Dorothy, Head of Global Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging with LinkedIn, will be speaking on Diversity, Inclusion, Belonging. Tim Pecoraro, founder and owner of Uphill Strategies, will be presenting on The Power of Others, Building Better Relationships. Dr. Charles Thomas, Vice President of Organizational Effectiveness and People Operations for Data Intelligence, sharing on Adversity in Diversity and How to Overcome It. Ann Warner, CEO of Women's Rights and Empowerment Network, will be presenting on Women's Leadership and Empowerment. Dr. Katrina Spiegner, President and CEO of Resource Solutions, will be teaching on Positioning Your Voice and Influence to Foster Inclusion. Joe Ryan, Professor of Clemson Life at Clemson University, will be sharing on Developing Greater Awareness of Others' Challenges and Rising to the Occasion to Help Them Succeed. Leah Smiley, President of the Society for Diversity, will be speaking on Educating and Equipping Diversity and Inclusion Executives for Greater Impact. Tracy Newkirk, Chief Team Developer with Unstuck, will be presenting on Diversity in Leadership Styles. Joe Gerstant, speaker, author, and advisor, will be sharing on The Value of Difference. Dr. Steve L. Robbins, Chief What If Officer of S.L. Robbins & Associates, whose topic is Your Brain is Good at Inclusion, except when it's not. And finally, Dr. Anita Tam, Assistant Professor of Psychology with Greenville Technical College, will be moderating a panel discussing global fluency, functioning successfully in an increasingly interconnected, culturally diverse workplace. The panelists will be Janet Krupka, Director of Recruiting for Michelin, John Harvey, Vice President of Worldwide Human Resources with ScanSource, and Dr. Taufiqar Khan, Professor of Mathematical Sciences and Chair of the College of Sciences Committee on the Global Engagement with Clemson University. We invite you to partner with us as we work to elevate diversity and inclusion excellence through education and creating an environment where deep conversation can happen, which ultimately leads to action and change. Sponsorship opportunities are now open for the 2018 Summit at all levels. For more information, please visit greenvillechamber.org. The 2018 Diversity and Inclusion Summit, coming October 16th to the TD Center in Greenville, South Carolina. Brought to you by the Greenville Chamber. Let's do something that matters today.